Hey guys, what's up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review where today we're taking a look at this old ToyBiz movie Daredevil figure. This is a figure that's been on my watch list for quite some time and he's not hard to pick up. There's quite a few on eBay, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money on him because, spoiler alert, he's pretty rubbish and I kind of knew that just from looking at him. But I still wanted to add him to the collection just for a good price. And the reason why is because I've only recently watched the Daredevil movie for the first time. I was a fan of the Netflix show, but for some reason the movie just kind of went past my radar. When it came out, I would have been like 3 or 4, and the movie's a 15, so I was never really allowed to watch it when it first came out. And after a few years, when I would have been allowed to watch it, a lot of people just kind of hated on the film. A lot of just negative reviews and a lot of jokes made about the movie. I just always presumed that it would be kind of whack, and I never got around to watching it. I then started watching it like a few years ago, fell asleep, never went back to it, and finally I was like, I need to watch this film. So it was either the end of last year or the start of this year. I finally watched it all the way through. And I'm not gonna lie, I really liked it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cheesy, it's over the top, a bit mental, but it's just typical 2000 superhero movie. I don't think it seems too out of place compared to the old X-Men films, or comparing it to even like the Raimi films. I feel like it has its place, and yeah, I liked it. Let me know what you guys think of the movie down in the comment section below. While you're down there, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And let's just take a closer look at this guy. This is how he arrived on eBay, and he cost me like £4. Not a lot of money at all. And I would say he's worth the £4. The head sculpt, unfortunately, he's got a bit of chipping on the nose, but apart from that, it's not the worst. I feel like they have captured that movie Daredevil look fairly well. It's not amazing, but I don't think it's terrible. I even think like the flesh tone and the lips and that look pretty good on this thing. Looking at the back, I can't remember if in the movie his neck was exposed like that. It just doesn't really look right, but you know, it is what it is. We've then got some nice sculpted detail on the back of the costume. Just nice colour on it as well, and that's kind of seen throughout the figure. Get the Daredevil logo here. Unfortunately, the black paint has rubbed off a wee bit. I could probably touch that up. And then once again, just not really sure about how it looked in the movie, but he has like this one black bit going around here and nothing on this side. I don't know if that's movie accurate, but it looks a bit weird to me, and that's why I'm questioning it. But yeah, once again, nice sculpted detail there. He does look a bit bulky, especially just in the upper half here. And you've got like silver things in the knuckles here, same on this side. They look pretty large, but it is a very old figure, so I'm not trying to dog on this too much, but I do just want to point out things here and there. The sort of utility belt thing, just kind of a nuisance, gets in the way. It looks alright, I suppose. I don't know, kind of standoutish. And you get the nunchucks, not the nunchucks, are they nunchucks? The batons, I don't know what you'd call them, the billy clubs. If I can get them out of his holster here, we can take a closer look at them. You can see kind of bent, kind of warped. These do seem more like nunchucks than Daredevil's usual billy clubs. And yeah, once again, I can't quite remember if these are very movie accurate or not. I think they do look really nice for the figure. Nice silver at the ends. I do like the chain they've used to keep them together, so that is cool. I like how we get that. I think the figure also came with an old stand that just wasn't included here. You'd have to spend a bit more money, I suppose, to get that stand, and I'm not too bothered. Just once again, nice sculpted detail. The boots look really nice, a lot of straps going round, and you've got the toe articulation and everything. Got some pads on the front. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the sculpt and display, I think this thing looks alright. As I said, worth £4, probably wouldn't pay too much more than that. But the articulation absolutely sucks, and we'll take a closer look at that later on in the video. There was something else I was wanting to say about this, but I can't quite remember. He looks alright, articulation sucks. Let's just compare him to some other Daredevil figs. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, the articulation's just not the articulation. The joints just really haven't held up, and it is pretty hard to get this thing to stand. He says as he stands, probably the best I've ever got him, just on the whim there. But yeah, he is a bit annoying to try and get to stand up straight. But to be expected with the age of this thing. So here is our Daredevil movie figure next to a Daredevil ToyBiz comic figure that came out around the same time. I think this probably came out before the movie figure, which is funny because this thing actually has some pretty good articulation on him compared to the movie figure. And I forgot to take a closer look at this guy when I was looking at the new 3-pack Daredevil. This figure, as you can probably tell, I've had for years. I got this thing when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I played with him so much. Like, he is just torn up, terrible to try and get to stand, but I cannot part with him. I mean, that thing is just my childhood, and that's why I really like Daredevil and Daredevil figures, because I loved this character and I loved this toy when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So I did want to compare him to movie Daredevil here, and yeah, I mean, this thing has a lot better articulation that I wish we saw on this movie Daredevil. It'd make it such a better piece, but unfortunately they really kind of went for the sculpt more than the articulation, because you can see on this thing there isn't really much sculpted detail on there, and I guess it's all in the face sculpt there, and I mean, that mouth just says it all. It's just outdated as heck. But let's, for fun, just throw that new Daredevil next to the movie one here and see how far we've come with figures in the last 20 years. I think it's just crazy that ToyBiz gave us this movie Daredevil. I think it was it 2003, 2004? The movie came out, and I believe the figure came out around that time as well. And here we have our 2022 3-pack Daredevil, just looking so much better. I really hope Hasbro release a updated Netflix Daredevil figure. We're bound to get one when that Disney show releases, and I can't wait to snatch it up because I missed it on the first release, and I am not paying those scalpers prices for them, but it would be a good comparison between the movie and the show. For another ToyBiz movie figure comparison, here is the Spider-Man 2 web trap that came out in 2004. Of course, we got loads of these ToyBiz Spider-Man movie figures, a lot of them, the majority of them that we've taken a closer look at here on the channel, and they are just miles better than this Daredevil movie figure. Even the likes of the Blade ToyBiz movie figure that we took a look at is just so much better in terms of both sculpt and articulation, comparing him to this Daredevil movie figure. So I think it is safe to say ToyBiz kind of dropped the ball a wee bit when it came to this movie. I don't know what was going on, but this movie obviously came out, they wanted to release a figure, and comparing him to the other ToyBiz releases for the movies at the time, he is definitely probably, safe to say, the worst, but still a fun piece, I suppose. So to run over the articulation, you can get the head moving left and right. It is pretty restricted though, and it doesn't even move up and down. You can see that's about the most movement you can get there. The arms don't even move out the way, they just move forwards and backwards, and yeah, just total cop out. Nothing in the bicep there. Gets single jointed elbow. Oh, you can move him around at the forearm, and you have this kind of weird finger articulation. Not individual fingers, just, yeah, you can move all the fingers. So why did they give us so much articulation in this area alone? Just same on this arm here, you can move them around at the waist, nothing else going on here. The leg kicks forwards and doesn't even move backwards, and it doesn't move out either. Single jointed knee. Oh, you can move it around at the calf, you can get the foot moving backwards and forwards. Foot pivots a tiny wee bit, and we get toe articulation as well. So yeah, really restricted in the range of movement on this piece. And that's it, guys. I'm going to end the video here. I'm not even going to try and put him on the rotating base, it's just going to be a nightmare. Not much more else to say about this guy. Sculpt's alright, articulation is absolutely dreadful. He's probably worth a bit of $5. If you want to pick this thing up, don't spend any more than like $5. He's fun. I wanted to get a figure to just, you know, commemorate the movie, and I'm happy to add him to the collection. But there's not an awful lot going on, especially from ToyBiz. I mean, they have released so many great figures in the past, but I wouldn't say this is one of them. It's just a fun piece, and yeah, worth it for the memes. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below of not only the film but this figure. Do you have this figure? Did you pick this figure up at the time, and what were your thoughts back then? I would love to know. Let me know down below, and while you're down there, as always guys, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and feel free to hop on over to the channel page, check out any of my other videos over there, and feel free to hop on over to my Instagram as well. I'll leave the link in the description below. With all that being said guys, thank you so much for watching this video right here, and as always, I'll catch yous on the flip flop later. Cheers.